Why? Why do they gotta? Why?
It's fine. Everything's totally fine. Or are you stressed out in the first 30
I'm
seconds of the
just
show?
saying, like, heavy underground music should be like transgressive art that is not easily like commercially successful. It should be difficult. Why?
I don't disagree. I don't disagree. Uh, but I think there's a point where like some things shit's always gonna break through, but the goal to break through from jump is still a weird look for me.
Mm-hmm.
I don't get it. I don't get it.
Like, I don't think Turnstile for a second was like, "Yo, let's try and get to the Grammys." I think they just sort of followed their bliss, and like it ended up like really popping off, and they were in the right place at the right time. But like, that's a different thing than just
It sounds it's when it
like
all
it's one of the
sounds the
things that
same.
kind of bums. It does. It all sounds very samey, really quick, really fast, and not even in like a um well, in, like in the way that music can if you're unfamiliar with the genre. It just sort of like it's all super polished. And like if there's no friction, if there's no humanity to the music, then it's boring.
Yes, but you know
Like,
what's not you know what's not boring?
what's that?
Our show. I'm Adam.
I'm Kate. This is Adam and Kate starting off with the hate this week.
Coming out swinging.
Just it's fine.
We're fine. Everything's cool. It's good.
Welcome.
Everything's fine. Hello,
I'm
audience.
happy and I like that these bands are doing well.
Uh, thumbs up emoji. Serotonin like click. Um, what? The hate's coming out in this episode. But before we get into that, how you doing? How you doing? How are things?
I'm 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 doing. Today was a good day. I hung out with some friends. The weather here was really nice. We went on a nice walk. Um there's this really gorgeous bit of like green here in Philly called the Woodlands. It's like a historic graveyard. Um so walked around there and then uh I drank some I sent you the photo of like the NA like hop water called Negative Approach that I had. So it was a good day.
Hell yeah.
I bumpy week. Um I'll leave it here. People feel entitled to say some foul shit to people who work in healthcare.
No, I concur.
Um so and I had to deal with some of that and it was deeply unpleasant. But you know, we're fine. How are you?
Um, yeah, still here. Uh, I have talked so much today. Um, Multiple conversations between you, our group chat with the homie Josh, my homie Chris, the homie Fela, the homie Michelle, like just multiple conversations. Then I was on Reddit, which that took my will to get off the couch altogether. So I didn't do too much, but uh, bunch of job interviews, a lot of phone interviews, some Microsoft Teams interviews. Let me tell you something. Microsoft Teams, I would rather carve an Enochian prayer into my penis head than ever use Microsoft Teams like on my phone to authenticate that I'm a human being ever again. 45 minutes. I felt like I was trying to get into a Supreme drop. That's how frustrating it was. Um, uh, So
I'm sorry. I want to go back on something that you said there. You were gonna carve what into your dick?
Enochian prayers, to summon the dark angels for the Dark Lord for his protection.
Okay, because you said that as if that's a thing that someone might just be familiar with, and I just wanted to double check that's what I heard.
What you
All right.
listen to dark music and don't know the Enochian prayers and all the things that go in that civilization? Oh, name three devils.
Um. Well, there's Beelzebub. Um. There's Baphomet. Um.
Don't forget the rude
and
boy Mephistopheles.
I was gonna say Cenobites. Do they count?
They're like the HR for him. I don't know. Um, uh, other other than that, this first weekend I've had off where I didn't have to do anything. So I had my homie Clint come over, go over records. He had some stuff I wanted. I had some stuff he wanted. We agreed on trade. I got to be like the cool uncle to someone who is new to hardcore instead of being a gatekeeping asshole. We got to exchange some stories.
Hell
That was
yeah,
cool.
we love it.
Um, there's a cat outside who we call Miss Tabby, who used to hiss at our very existence, but she has been coming around and she's getting older. So it's nice to have her like be sweet or as sweet as she can be. Earlier today, Amy and I talked about it. Like, if she gets to the point where she'll let us pet her and be sweet and loving, she can spend the rest of her time here in the house instead of outside because we've known this cat for 10 years. And part of me really hopes that she turns around because she and I both want to save all of them. And I know we can't, but God damn it, I want to try. Uh, had some cool collab ideas pop up with a homie, which we'll talk about when it gets closer to colder weather months. And when Clint was over here, I added up all the shit I'm trying to sell. And if I get maximum value, I'll be able to do a lot of good with that money, not just for like, something cool for my wife, something cool for the animals, something cool for like me personally, but I can relaunch a skate deck company and put some money back and like I'm trying to like not be a minimalist, but like not I'm trying to get out of FOMO and uh all that sort of stuff of scarcity saying you need something. I'm trying to move away from that and fix that part of my
Yeah,
brain where I'm not like, I must have every single variant of every set. No, dude, I don't have the space. I would rather have money to take care of things. So coming to that like reality of like I say it every once in a while, and I'll have a big purge. Then I'll be, I miss having stuff, but you have 4,000 records. But I should have five. So I'm trying to like remove that entire mentality from my brain. I think I actually came to it this past weekend with Clint helping me out. It showed me like this shit should be passed on. Why are you hoarding it? Uh, so overall, really good weekend. Decent week. That's where I'm at.
hell yeah, hell yeah. I love that.
I do too. It's very
Um,
nice.
it's so nice.
Good
Um,
night.
did
Bye
you have any
bye.
mail that you wanted to Jesus fuck. Uh,
She hates when I do that. That's my joke on the whole thing. Like, my wife is going to divorce me if I do that one more time. And I still love doing it. I know right now she's shooting eye knives through the wall at me. Totally cool. Uh, totally cool. Um, I had a little bit of mail. One of it is it's hard to take this off and then do it, but carpet company is put out a official body count zip up hoodie. It's a huge graphic. The paint is
you sent me
bulletproof.
the link to this. It's insane. It
It is. It's a thick boy. The paint can stop bullets. I love carpet. I found them while trying to find when I started getting back into skating. I found fucking awesome and hockey and a bunch like and Joy was still around. I found Jacuzzi. I found Sci-Fi Fantasy and Carpet, Baltimore. I found Carpet originally from when they did the Turnstile Glow On uh, collab. but they
Mhm.
did a Nike one, but I kept watching. I was like, "Oh, some of this stuff looks pretty cool," and I got it, and then they've gotten more popular. They got an actual store in Baltimore now, and they're going to be in the new skate game as one of the collaborators for like merch. So I'm watching them
Oh,
just
cool.
get bigger, bigger and bigger and bigger. And it's nice to kind of be like, I don't want to say ground floor, but like, yo, that's awesome seeing these two dudes who have put a lot of heart and soul into what they do hit new levels. So I know we joke about like a Supreme sponsorship. I would gladly take a carpet one because I love what they do, and I love what they do for their city. I love what they do for their scene, and they're like the carpet company. If you haven't heard of them, please check them out. Buy their shit, sell everything out. The other the other cool thing I got goes with last week's mail, actually. So I was expecting a bunch of comic books or maybe truck violence. I think that was supposed to come out soon, but I talked about the Magic Circle Club for Run for Cover Records, and I saw this package. I'm like, what the fuck is this from? And I looked at like Run for Cover. I was like, no, my sub's done. I just got the three. Well, when I opened up the package, I was blessed with the new Gouge Away 7-inch, which from earlier conversation, it's only on vinyl. There's no digital. And it's on this little army green, as I'm sure someone would get mad that I touched it with my fingers the way I did. Um, and then but the other cool thing I got was the last record I got was, Basements Wired from that whole run, and in a 12-inch mailer, I got this signed print, from the band, which is now officially part of the artwork, for me. It's 3 of the Ls from the main Al on the cover. I'm finding myself liking this record more and more. Uh,
It's
not a
really
band I
good.
not a band I ever thought I'd be into, if we're being honest, but this is my jumping in point, alright, I'm in. So this may creep up to a top 15 or 20. We'll say this may creep up to a top 10 for me this year, depending on what else comes out, but this may be like the dark horse record for me this year. I thought it was gonna be New Mirrors. That's really up there already, but this is probably the dark horse record for me. So that's where I'm at. You can quote me on that or not. It's cool.
It it was one of those, like, instant classics when I heard it. I was just like, "Oh, yeah, this is immediately canon." You know what I mean?
Yeah, oh, all right. Explain that to me. So I've only heard a little bit of it. I'm not super familiar with them. There's not a band that caught me. I would like to hear that answer, because I don't know enough.
Um, I'm not even this isn't even coming from necessarily like a because like, I'm a casual liker of their music. I got into them because it's like it's, the other part of Fiddlehead that's not Pat Flynn. But it trying to think of the other, like, other record, like, um, Turnstile's Time and Space had this quality to it too, where
Okay.
you you put it on and it's immediately just like people are gonna be talking about this. This is just immediately it's a classic. It's immediately sounds like something that like um you know what I mean? You see what I'm getting at? Like this like there's an immediate like timeless quality to it. Um where it's like, oh, I'm gonna be like I'm gonna be going back to this record in 10 years and it won't sound like it's aged.
Okay. All right. I got all right. So like we're talking about Turnstile for a second. Um, uh, because we haven't in a while. But Time and Space was the record that actually got me back into them, or really just made me a fan. Because I didn't care for the other stuff. I've been straightforward about that. I'm not changing my opinion on that. I'm not going to pose on it. Time and Space On has been my era of Turnstile. I felt when Glow On was first made, I was like, okay, this is now canon. I didn't see Time and Space as that, but if this is their time, if Basement's Time and Space, could the next one be their really big jump? I'm actually going to be along for the ride now because now I actually have some vested interest because I was like, this thing caught me when I didn't think it would. So That's a cool take. I like that.
Yeah, like it immediately slots in with like the rest of their catalog in like a way that doesn't sound like, well, they've just rewritten an old record again, and it doesn't sound like um they've gone like way far afield in any sort of like goofy way. Like it just like, oh hell yeah. Yeah.
Alright. Um, you also received some mail this week that we've talked about just back and forth outside the show. Go off.
So this is a Lungfish bootleg shirt that I ordered from, I don't know, one of those like Redbubble type people upload their own artwork sort of thing. It took like a month and a half to get to me. They eventually had to like whatever shipping, whatever like fucking store brand, like off-brand shipping company they used to send it to me lost the first one that they sent me. Um, Lungfish is a band that I love. I got introduced to them because of Self Defense Family. Um, if you don't listen to Lungfish, I suggest that you go fucking listen to Lungfish. It but they famously like never really did merch. They never really like, so any, if you're gonna find a shirt from them, like there's no way it's not gonna be a bootleg. And I just wanted something to wear around. Uh, and I like this design a lot. It's, I'm assuming it's Dan Higgs artwork. It looks like his stuff. Um, some weird boarfish eating a person. It says Panic and Hysteria at the bottom, which is a track from Necrophones. Um, yeah. What can I say more about Lungfish? If meditation and punk rock and like mad, like, you know how like Alan Moore is like is a crazed wizard man?
Yeah.
Yeah. I feel like Dan Higgs occupies that space in punk. Like I would say Dan Higgs is the Alan Moore of punk rock.
All right. It's you saying that uh was something we can revisit much later. But I think we should do our top in no specific order bands that fit that not Alan Moore specific, but that like weird genre of, oh, these guys are all fucking geniuses. Why are you not listening to them more and giving them their flowers? I think we could find 10 bands that could really fill that out. And I think Lungfish would have to be on that list, just like Self Defense, even from us on a personal
Mhm.
level. But I think we could probably find, 8 more bands. So I don't know, future project?
Yeah. Lungfish, I will say, like, made me really appreciate what you can do when you just sort of like repeat and meditate on like a couple of lines and a couple of riffs. And like somehow it's brilliant.
Simplicity, it can be
Um,
wonderful.
yeah. Um, Definitely don't get their flowers the way that a lot of other Discord bands do. Um, I mean, they are right next to some like real, real titans, obviously. But and I think part of that too is that there's no, they didn't, there are bands out there that like were doing something like idiosyncratic and weird, and they spawned their like a whole army of imitators, and it became like a sound unto itself self that everyone became aware of. Like take a band like Botch or Cave In. Like when they started, they were doing something that like nobody else was doing, and it was just like very much their own thing. But then they spawned all these little people, like all these other bands. They came after them that made it, like, that iterated on it and popularized it and all this sort of stuff. Like, Lungfish doesn't really have that. They have, like, Self-Defense Family and Wilderness, and, like, they also have a couple of the dudes from Wilderness in a different band called Vulture Feather that may now be defunct. I don't know, it's unclear. They made a cryptic post on on Instagram. Um, but they wrapped up an East Coast tour, which didn't come anywhere close enough to Philly for me to get to, and then we're like, "All beginnings must have endings," and people were just like, "Are you breaking up?" And they, like, didn't respond at all to any of that. Um, but anyways, like, yeah, there's, like, 3 bands that really did the I can think of, like, maybe 1 or 2 others, like, that tried to iterate on what Lungfish did, but, like, they didn't really go anywhere, which is unfortunate because I wish more people would.
Piss
Anyways,
Jeans comes
I'm
to
gonna start
mind
talking stuff.
for some reason.
Oh, interesting. I've listened to Piss Jeans, but I hadn't put them in context of Lungfish at all.
Uh, I'd say maybe not, King of Jeans, but Why Love Now, like, makes me think of Lungfish for a couple of things. Not all of it, but,
Okay.
when I first heard that record, I was at a record store, um, Pharmacy Records here in Greenville, shout out Franklin, and he was playing tracks off the new Piss Jeans record, Why Love Now. And I was like, "What the fuck is this? Is this Lungfish?" He looked at me like, first of all, he never thought I would mention that band's name 'cause I'm always like, "If I Mosh make me go punch." And he'd never heard me talk about, like, you know, smarter music, for lack of a better way of putting it. And, like, or I'd wax
Sure.
philosophical on, like, the riffs of Unearth. But when I said Lungfish, he goes, I was like, "Yeah, I'm a very, very casual listener of 'em. I thought this could have been one of their records." He goes, "No, it's Piss Cheese." Then, we like 2 hours later at the record store, which record store conversations can be so much fun. If you're not going to record stores having conversation with owners, please, you'll meet some weird friends. It's a great place to meet weird friends. Um,
Yeah.
I got It's to Piss Jeans, and I ended up buying that record that night and put it on. And there's one song on there, one track that reminds me of Beavis and Butthead or like Liquid TV from MTV. It's the most off kilter track on the record. I think it's number 5. Uh, it's wild. So if I can remember the name of it, I'll tell you, but I'll probably tell you off air when I finally do remember because I'm not looking it up, but it is so unhinged that but that's not the one that made me think of Lungfish. It's like the second track on the record. So all right.
Oh, that remind all this Lungfish talk made me think of, there's a really cool, it's a 2-song. I don't know if it got physical, I don't know what format it came out in, but it's 2 songs by, Bonnie Prince Billy, Nathan Salzberg, and Tyler Trotter, and it's 2 covers of Lungfish songs, and they play them for
Shit.
like 20 minutes each.
Fuck.
It's Hear the Children Sing and The Evidence, because, like, as you know, like, Lungfish songs are easily ones that you can just stretch out and play for as long as you want. Um, and so these are, like, sort of like folk, like, chill acoustic versions. They started out as, one of the dudes, um, just would, like, sing lullabies to his new baby and realized that, like, Lungfish songs worked really well as a lullaby. Uh, just singing them acoustic. Um, so yeah, this is cool as hell, and I'll show this to the people, but you should listen to this.
All right. All right.
Not just you, but the people.
Well, still, like I'll give it. I didn't know it existed. So all this Lungfish talk, it might be time for me to have like another revisit because I can do it every once in a while, and I'll listen to a couple tracks, and I'm like, I need the angry punch music, and then like now I need the rap music, and now I need the sad, introspective, performative male emo music. So you know, no, I
Lungfish occupies a space for me where I can just sort of listen to it indefinitely. Uh, like very few bands occupy that space for me. Another one being Credence. Uh, I can just sort of put them on and forget about it. I remember doing that at a coffee shop I worked at once, and like we've been listening to nothing but CCR for like over an hour, and someone was like, "Kate, can we please put on something else?" And I was like, What do you mean?"
no, I'm no fortunate one. I'm not a center's.
It's like, but it's down on the corner,
Bro, we can go out in the street.
out here in the streets. um, I love CCR. I love them so much. Um,
I I genuinely enjoy CCR. I could probably make a perfect playlist of 10 to 15 tracks. 10 for sure, maybe 15,
mhm.
but 10 for sure. And
I
like,
yeah, I won't sit here and say that all of their songs are great. Like there's there's so many. There there's some ones in there I don't need, but a lot of it's really good.
yeah, I'll ride for CCR. Hell yeah.
Hell
Speaking
yeah.
of speaking of
I should get a shirt.
get it from the same place you got the Lungfish
Sorry.
shirt. That's okay. Um, speaking of music you listen to, you had a homework assignment from last week from me, and I gave you Pulling
I
Teeth.
did. Really dug this. We talked about this a little bit in pre-pro, but like it sounds to me a little bit like what if Suicide File was a Holy Terror band?
I think that's the most accurate and wild take that you could put together in all reality.
Cuz like there are some like there's like a sort of like punk snottiness to the vocals that you wouldn't necessarily get from Holy Terror acts. Uh but there's like a sort of like there's a darkness to the music that you wouldn't get from like that Suicide File like never really touched necessarily, right? Like there's yeah, it's a interesting mishmash of like kind of two different worlds, but I really really dug it. I'll definitely be adding them to my rotation. I did want to mention something just because I found I was doing some like reading up on them like that. Um, I pulled up their Wikipedia article, and I just wanted to share this with you. So Pulling Teeth was an American hardcore band from Baltimore, Maryland, formed in 2005. The band released several recordings before settling down and becoming a studio band. Right. That all is something you'd expect, right? And then it goes on to
Yeah, come on.
say, Dom is currently the manager of the air freshener section of the Highlandtown Pep Boys, which would be funny in and of itself if it didn't have immediately after that 3 different citations for that piece of information.
That's great. That's I appreciate the fact that you went to the Wikipedia and then like that came up on the show. I think that's fucking amazing.
Like, yeah, like citations 4, 5, and 6 are immediately after that. Like, I not that I would. It's. I'm glad you're citing your sources on this. I don't feel like I would have necessarily disbelieved you if you told me that he was the manager of the air freshener section of a Highlandtown Pet Boys. Um, but glad to know the information's accurate.
It's so specific.
Seems a
That's the best
little
part.
irrelevant to their music career.
Well, the tour van has to smell good. So,
And what better way than to manage the air freshener section of a Pep Boys? They don't mention anyone else in the band's like career outside the music, just that guy.
The
Just Dominic Anyhow, I
he's
just needed
Canadian.
that out there, and okay,
He is
good to know.
also He is also he was in Slumlords. He is the brainchild and manic maestro of A389 Records. He was in Integrity for a while. He did some fests for the A389 Fest in Baltimore. I got to go to a couple of those. Dom is a very, very cool individual who's done a lot of cool shit. And to be able to manage a Pet Boys on top of putting out some amazing records, I think is an accomplishment that not everyone can do. So,
Not the whole Pet Boys, just the
just the
air
one.
freshener section.
It's
Just
it was run good.
so anyhow,
What was your
that
favorite record for the of the 3 that you listened to?
the second of them. Let me pull up. I can't remember
Harder
names. I'm
Immortal.
sorry. Yes, I think I like that one the most, though. Um, I liked I liked all three of them quite a bit. The artwork on all of them also pretty wild. Do you know who does the art for these?
I did it one time. I think he's done 2 other bands of note, but Pulling Teeth is one of them. I think he's done just about everything except maybe the Witches Sabbath series that they did. That was a bunch of cover songs released on multiple labels, and maybe the Shin to Shin split, and maybe the Mighty Sphincter split. I feel like they did. Someone did. I know Dom released a Mighty Sphincter 7 inch, but I feel like it's the same guy. It's For those that don't know, I actually can pull some of the artwork up. I have the artwork for Funerary right in front of me, as one of my record covers. I have an extra thing, so we can do a little visual. That my wife made a bunch of these for me, so the cats couldn't destroy the records. But this is actually on taped to the front of a mailer. But this is the Funerary cover. There is a lot to extrapolate from this, but there is a lot of
Yeah,
subversive
it's
imagery.
wild, dude.
It is
Yeah, to say the very least.
but it was, like, it would I think musically, if they didn't stand out for you, visually, they are definitely catching your eye when you're in the record store. Uh, I'm glad you really liked them.
Yeah, I pulled up Funerary like just to get a better look at it. The what? There's a boar-headed goddess of some sort. The it
I think those angels have been
it's
on every single
ridiculous.
record. So the angels in the corner, I feel like they've
I
been
th-
on every single record.
I think so. Yeah.
I just now noticed that. So I remember things.
At any rate, dug this band a lot. Yeah, definitely gonna be adding them to rotation. Um,
Yeah.
and oh, for your homework this week, to
All
tie
right.
into something we're gonna be going into later on in this episode, the Chariot.
Really? Okay. Okay. All right. You know how I feel about the first record. You know that I ride hard for that one, but I don't know
Yeah,
the rest.
and it's a good record to
So,
ride hard for. It is the first Chariot record is just Bless the Martyr Part 2.
all
Um,
right, fair.
because they were both recorded pretty close to each other. They were recorded by the same dude. Um, they were also done the same, like, we're gonna do it live and in one take.
I want to
And
focus. I want to focus on that when we get to the next part for later on. I don't want to forget about that
for
part.
sure. Um, but their later material, um, I I think they just improved from there. For a lot of people, this follow up to that record, The Fiance, is like the Chariot record. Um, that's the one that most people cite. that one I have a hard time being super objective about, like, just because, like, I wore it out. You know what I mean? Like, I wrung out every bit of serotonin, every last drop of dopamine I possibly could from that record. Like,
Ooh,
um,
that's that's another idea for a show. What 5 to 10 records have we just wrung every fucking thing out of? You saying that is conversation here for me gives me show ideas, and I like that, so I didn't wanna forget about that either. My apologies.
word. That would be a fun one to go through. It's like records that you absolutely love, but like it just it if it's on a cassette, like it is like that tape snapped, right? Like if it's a record, like you just wore those grooves way too deep. Like there's just no listening to it anymore. Um, so
Alright.
after that, there's Wars, Rumors of Wars, which is good. It didn't hit me in the same way that Fiance did, and it didn't hit me like as hard as the follow up to that did, which is called Long Live. I think Long Live would be the record I would hand anybody if they're like, "What's this band, The Chariot, about?" I would hand them Long Live. Um,
Okay, interesting.
and then their final record, One Wing, I think was probably their best work, just artistically speaking. Like that was when their songwriting was at its strongest. They 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 explored some cool things. They did some weird stuff with it in some really cool ways. Um, that I think is yeah, really, really cool. So I'm curious to know like what you're gonna think of them. Um, and, especially with all of our 68 talk last few weeks. So I was like, fuck it, let's do the Chariot. Um,
Chariot question for you before we go to the next parts. Make sure that I'm not dumb and I didn't make this up in my head in a fever dream. There was a documentary about the Chariot?
they've put
Have you
out two.
Okay.
Um, they put out and both of them were like shot, produced, edited by Josh. Um, so they put out one right after, um, both of them came out really early in their career too. Actually, no, tell a lie. There was a third one that Josh didn't do. Um, that was of their farewell tour. It was
That's
like
the
I
one
think
I've
Warp
seen.
Tour. There was like yeah, they put out one that was like Warp Tour and their final tour was I think what it covered. But I think it was maybe Warp Tour, but definitely their farewell tour. Um,
That's that's the one I've seen. I really loved that. That was actually a really
it's
cool
really
doc.
good. I'm gonna watch that after this.
Same.
Um, but they Josh put out two kind of early on in their career. Back, remember when bands would just like put out DVDs
Yeah, like
and it was
Every
just
Time I
like
Die, Sayo, Bleeding Through. Yeah.
yeah. So the Cherry put out two of just like them dicking around on tour. Um, I forget what they were called. One came out like right around the same time as their first record, and the second one came out as like a pre-order thing for their second record. Let me see what
So
these are called because I can't remember their.
I'm just happy that I didn't like fever dream that because I remember seeing like the final footage of the final show and like everyone like losing their minds and singing along when the music stopped and if I remember correctly and just like there's a lot of emotion and Scoggins wearing a white shirt and it's all gross but he looks super happy and like that's what I remember from it. I remember it being like a big deal. I know it was a big deal down here. I just did not go. Um, but I remember the show happening And I remember that documentary. I saw it, I don't know, a couple of years ago, maybe like right when COVID hit, and I was just
Yeah.
finding out YouTube is the greatest channel ever made. And I meant to I've been meaning to ask you about that probably for like the better part of a year, but I kept forgetting about it. Now that you asked me about did the did the Chariot and the 68 talk, I think like I was okay, let's see if my brain really is broken. And it still may be, but it's not as broken. So,
um, yeah, the other two, there was Ladies and Gentlemen, which came out in 2005, and then there was another one, One More Song, that came out in 2007.
what's the third one called?
Um, uh, f- Good Night, My Lady, and Forever Farewell, I want to say. Let me look.
All right.
That was at least the name of the tour. Um, Forget Not.
Okay. All right. Now I remember it when we wrap up. I know what I'll be watching tonight. I'm
Yeah, I'll
excited
send
to
you the
watch.
link.
All right. I'm excited. I'm excited to rewatch it. Uh, all right.
Yeah, dude.
Well,
Um, but yeah. Oh, it looks like Ladies and Gentlemen is also on YouTube. That'd be interesting. Can't remember if I watched. Can't remember watching that or not. I must have. I was obsessed.
well, speaking of the Chariot and Josh Scoggins, uh, and
But
Finality.
this bothers me. You say
All right.
his last name wrong. I just need to
Oh,
correct you. It's
is it Scoggin?
Scoggin.
It's not Scoggins?
Scogin. No, there is no S.
I thought okay. I thought there was an S for this entire time. Not even kidding.
Yeah, no, there's just the one at the beginning.
All right. All right.
And
My bad,
I
Josh.
couldn't always
Sorry.
tell if you were doing it or not. I couldn't always tell if you were doing it or not. And so I was like, is he saying that? And like, no, no, he is. I must.
Yeah, yeah. No, no, and that's not on purpose. That is just something I heard it that way a long time ago, and I just never forgot it. So, okay. I own
Well,
records by the
so
man,
part of it too
and
is like Scoggins is a last name.
oh, yeah. It's,
Like,
I know a few Scoggins from Rutherford County. There's a Scoggins fish camp that I used to go to for dinner. Maybe that's why I'm putting the 2 together, but
yeah, no,
sorry,
it's entirely
Josh.
possible.
Sorry, Josh, my bad. His family
He'll
owns the
never
fish
see
camp.
this. It's fine.
No, someone will get it to him, I promise. Um, but speaking of Josh Scoggin, and Finality, um, we got some records to talk about that came out, this week, and we're gonna start off with the talk of the town, a band that we've really both been focusing on a bunch. Let's talk Final 68 record.
Man, this was really good.
It
I
is.
really liked it. This might be my favorite of their material.
It is. It's my number 2, um, followed by a Yes and, but They Are
I
Survive is
Yeah, I
officially
could probably flip a coin between those two records. You know what I mean? Like which one is my favorite of the two? Um, but yeah, I'm right there with you. It's like it's these two I think are the best ones.
enjoy the shit out of them. Um, when you 'Cause I think you're the one that sent me the original info that it was up for pre-order. I feel like it had to have been you, either you or Wes, uh, and I listened to the song. I was like, "I'm gonna wait for the whole thing to come out before I really put some time to it." And I listened to it,
Yeah, I did the same.
it sounds like it was recorded like the first Chariot record. Like, I get there's an entirely different sort of production. It feels like they did it in 1 or 2 takes, and we're like, "All right, let's just
Hmm.
fucking knock this out. Let's get some homies in here to do some chorus stuff." And they put out their bluesiest and most rock and roll record, I think, out of all the stuff they put out.
Yeah, yeah. Um, it's heavier than a lot of their earlier material too. Um, but it really grabbed me. Like that sort of slow song in the middle also, like, really like, I think it's, like, track 5 or something, you know what I'm talking about?
Yeah. It,
Like, it made me just wanna go, like I didn't I wasn't gonna try and bring this up when I ran into Josh, like, after the show, but I was just like, "Yo, did someone pass away in your life?" Because like, that's what this song sounds like it's about. It's like, you lost someone major to you. Um, but
it,
it's really good. I don't
choruses, uh, the one that's, the, "Ah," I can't do it because my voice is fucked from talking. I'm not even gonna try to do it. But the one where they end up with the chorus at the very end of the song, like, "Oh,
I think that's
oh,"
the first track.
like, yeah, yeah, first or second track, the whatever the ending is of those, like, "Alright, you've now put me on a ride for the rest of this no matter what. You have grabbed my attention in a way that I have not had grabbed in a while."
Yeah, it's catchy in a really cool way. Um, lyrically, Josh is being real like, is doing some clever shit. I think I could I could write a riff, but they cut humans from the budget. Damn.
I wonder what he's talking about.
Who knows?
Could it be why PlayStation 5s are going up?
Uh, he also had a he also had a reference to Memphis Will Be Laid to Waste, I think in that same song. So, like, still ain't in it for the fashion that's fleeting away. It's like, right on, Josh, I see you.
Yeah, dude, I was not expecting that record to come out, not on Pure Noise. I was not expecting it to come out, period,
Yeah,
and,
self-released.
uh, it's awesome. It's absolutely awesome. I'll have to message them to see if they have any stuff left over from tour. 'Cause I regretfully did not buy anything when they were in Radio Room. So, that I want that coin, thank you kindly, more than anything else, uh, and my copy of the
I
record,
didn't
but
see that at all at the show.
they might have sold
I'm
out.
bummed that I missed that because that would've been cool. Yeah. I got the flag because I was, like I was gonna be bummed if I didn't grab it. Um, but man, the whole record's good. You should go listen to it. There's might still be vinyl available.
There is. I'm
Okay.
sure the numbers are running low. They only did, like, 300, but, again, one of those bands that, like, had I not had someone cool introduce me to them and had them not completely say, "Why aren't you listening to this?" Then I got it, and then I was along for the ride since then, and I'm glad they did because it's, a person who you, in general, follow their entire career, and it gives some commonality for us. It gives us some cool shit to talk about, and, like, knowing that, like, one of, that they're ending, I am so thankful that I got to see them, uh, in a very small to mid-sized venue in Greenville, South Carolina, so many times, like, to bring in the new year. Um, I don't think I've seen a more respectful crowd of hardcore kids, just kinda like, "Yeah, this is awesome." Just kinda chilling, like, no violence, no bullshit, just
I was really grateful for that. The last time I had seen them, there was, like it was in a super small space, and, like, we were just, like, vibing with the music and really enjoying it. There was, like, one dude that didn't get the memo that, like, we're not there's not much to really mosh to here, and, like, I had to at one point put him in a headlock and be like, "You need to fucking cut this out. Read the room."
So, I think what we're gonna see in the future, regardless of what he or Nico do in the future, I think in 5 years or less, we're gonna see a lot of bands, like, really going for this sound. I think that's what
That
I
would be
think that's
cool.
what they've done.
I hope they do I hope something cool comes out of this for sure. I mean, selfishly, I think I said this last time. I hope Josh keeps making music. He's a pretty singular talent. Um, yeah. I also really appreciated at the show he was like he gave a little talk like about like the importance of going out and seeing live music and being around people that aren't exactly like you and like letting art lead the way. It's like if art stops leading us, then then we start getting kings. And man, he didn't come right out and say fuck Trump, but it was pretty clear what he was alluding to.
I remember, or one of his in between songs, using his hardcore talking voice, where he talks about. I'm guessing somebody said some shit about the last record. Probably some reviewer. Uh, it's like, this all sounds like it's all AI made. It's not real. Nobody really put any out. He's like, no, this is all made by two people. Like, yeah, we have to buy machines and manipulate them, but the point was that like this is music made by two people with souls. And don't think otherwise. And I thought that was and you don't again singular talent, but I think our world musically has more of a very straightforward approach to expression that is not necessarily based in an algorithm. There's always going to be a few, but I think there's more heart and soul and emotional content in this little hardcore scene and the adjacent stuff that I think people don't necessarily give credit to. And it's people like Josh and a lot of the bands that we have talked about and will end up talking about on this show that definitely enforce that, whether it's like, Hate Breed, or the adjacent to Hate Breed, or Drug Church, or Lungfish, or 68, or Knocked Loose, or whoever. Like there's that level of there is a lot going into this. From people are pouring a lot of their effort and their heart and soul into stuff, and it's not. You can tell when it's fake as fuck, and I don't think hardcore falls for it. And I know that we've never discussed bands that fall into that very specific. We're trying to get big. Specifically, we're starting a band to get big. Uh, that's not
Yeah,
part of the
like
world.
one thing that I like about one thing I like about hardcore and like it can sometimes we do this almost to a fault sometimes, but like um if if there's like if it's inauthentic, then it's like we're immediately suspicious of it. If it's too polished, if it's too whatever, then we're always a little like, I don't know about this, you know?
Show me the body.
And sometimes it turns us into fucking well, like the problem with Show Me the Body is that like regardless of what their actual trajectory was, like they it felt like they showed up fully formed with a fucking banjo. And it was like, who are you kids and why are you here? Like it felt like loftcore that like I mean showed up and we were being told that it was important. Now,
I
like
never.
obviously, you know what I mean? We're and I'm not saying that's necessarily actually how it happened. I'm sure, but it did feel like they kind of showed up fully formed, and we are just like, the fuck is this?
It like I
Um,
said when
Especially
I
like
saw.
living in Connecticut, feel like I would have seen them on shows,
Oh, they're from
not
Connecticut.
headlining. No, they're from um they're from New York, but like right across the bridge. You know what I mean? Like,
The name would have been out there.
bands from New York, the name would have been out there. earlier. I don't know. I don't know. I'm I might be talking out of school. I don't know those dudes personally, um, or anything like that. But anyways,
But yeah, 68, band that people watching this, listen to this. If you hadn't, highly recommended for both of us. Uh, check it out. Just check it out. Go see them if they haven't. If their final show hasn't happened yet, go see them if you can. All right. Uh, what do you want to do next? Do you want to do uh the band from my area or the band from closer to your neck of the woods next?
let's go with the band from your area.
All right. So, Your Spirit Dies, a band that is, they says Columbia. I'm going to say Greenville. They've had a ton of shows in Greenville. Some of the guys live here, but they've now moved. Members are all like Tennessee, Greenville, Columbia. I think some are in Rutherfordton still, Rutherford County, North Carolina. Metalcore band that has slowly but surely been getting better and better and better. They started off with Blasphemer Records. Shout out Ryan, a local label in North Carolina. They moved on to Carry the Weight for their next record, Your Spirit Drives a Golden Ash. And then the most recent LP was on Mark Heavy, MRNK Heavy. I can never remember what it's called. And Dan Wayant was on that record, which I thought would have been the thing that made them pop because Zayo has had the big resurgence. They've played some shows with Zayo. They tour with No Cure. They get on bigger and bigger tours. And they put out this single about 2 weeks ago, kind of quietly. And if this does not give them the pop that they rightfully fucking deserve, I'm sure they'll be bummed, but I'm gonna be very sad because this is that fine line between Seven Angels, Misery Signals, and I'd say Unearth. Like it fits right between the two. It's strong. It's got a cool
Kind of sounds
atmosphere.
like Misery Signals, but played fast.
Yes. It's crushing. You're moshing, uh, but everyone
You're moshing.
sounds like hard. You're moshing hard. But this is this is the early aughts metalcore revival that I am 1,000% for. Um, they have hit a sound that like scratches uh, several itches at once. They have worked their way up from like local status to like, yo, why you need to look at this band. Uh, Give them their flowers. I think that they got a cool logo. They got a cool band name. They're on cool tours. They put out great music. Let's make them pop more.
Yeah, I'm excited to hear what they do what they do next because that single that came out is really good. It's two songs and an interstitial. I don't need the interstitial, but you know it's fine. Um, definitely. I went back and re-listened to their full length. Um, the My Gnawing Pains, blah blah blah. Really really good too. It's got a couple of guests on there. There's Dan from Zayo. There's um I don't recognize these other names, but No Cure and the Callous Cowboys
That's right. That's one of the last times
are
they
on the
played
other
in Greenville was with the Callous Boys.
band I want to like more than I actually do. Like
Same.
I had someone like be like, "Yo, you like the Cherry?" I'm like, yes, I'm a fan." He's like, "You gotta listen to the Callous Cowboys," and I put them on, and I was like, "I don't like this." Like, it's not that it wasn't good. Like I could, when you listen to something and you can tell that it's like, well, this is interesting music competently done. But I don't care for it. Yeah,
Got a lot of that for me. But yeah, it's
it's a great
uh
name too. It's like
yeah,
that's pretty clever. Uh,
yeah. Band is friends, the people that are like 10 years younger than me, uh, that did not get to see like Every Time I Die or Calista or the Chariot or bands that had like a big formal pop and where they got bigger and bigger. Um, they did not get to see those bands, so this is their equivalent, I think. But it to me, there's too much going on, and like my brain can only handle so much. Now live, they're fucking great, but on record, another one of those bands that like I know they're good. I'll see them live. I can't do it on record. But on paper, it should be my right in my alley, but it just doesn't do it. Nothing against them.
Yeah.
I'll go see them live
I'm
wherever they're at.
I bet you if I like I'm gonna try and get out to see them next time they roll through Philly, and I bet you that'll it'll click for me and I'll be able to enjoy them. Um, but anyhow, um, I want Your Spirit Dies to do better. Like I want them to really take off because I think all the material that I'm hearing from them is like I think better than this next band we're about to talk about.
Yeah.
Uh,
Yep. Yeah.
Wait, all right.
No.
Let me preface this by saying, yeah, we're aware. We're aware. We know what's going on with this band. I I don't care to comment on it, not because I don't think it's worth taking seriously or whatever, but like uh, not my place. I don't know anybody involved. I don't know any of that shit. Um, the band has yet to comment on it. I just want to talk about the music. You can cancel me if you want to, but like we just gotta talk about this record.
Yeah. It's
Balmora,
what's it even
this was
called?
fine.
That's not the name of the record.
I don't know.
Something about graves, I think.
Balmora,
Something
possibly.
about
Let me
graves.
look it up.
Something about graves.
That would be actually a great name for a record, by the way. Something about graves.
It's my indie sleaze band name.
These Graven Hills.
Okay, see, there's something about graves.
Halls. Graven Halls.
Still something about graves.
I didn't care for this.
I had high hopes for it.
You did. We both did. Maybe it's just because we were both around for the first iteration of this style of metalcore,
Yeah. Uh,
but this just felt like cosplay to me.
it less cosplay, more worship, in my opinion. I think if so,
Okay, that's
they had
fair.
that bang they had that banger ass EP that came out that was just like, oh, so you're going for Prayer and Undying, little Dead Blue Sky, little Hamartia. All right, maybe throw a little Dead to Fall in there. You're going for that? All right, you got me hooked on this EP. And then, and of all the comments when the record came out before the other part, the texts I was getting from friends, they were like, "Well, it's a step forward back in the right direction compared to that split in that promo they did. At least they're back on track." And I got more of those than like, "Yo, this record is sick." Um, for the uninitiated, it is prayer for cleansing worship. It is undying worship. It is dead blue sky worship. It is Hamartia worship. It is dead to fall worship, and it's fine. It's not shitty. Uh, it's competent, but the singles they put out versus the final record, uh, 6, 7. Like that's really how I feel about it. Um, I was
It
more
yeah, it's fine.
disappointed. Disappointed,
Yeah. They put out an unlistenably bad hip hop track at the end of it for some goddamn reason.
bro. I
Which
almost put a I almost put a screwdriver into my ears so
stop,
I didn't have to have sound.
stop, don't do that. Don't don't do it unless you can like you can 1,000% do it really well.
It's there were
Like,
extra interludes.
I didn't need a single one of those interstitials. Like, I don't particularly care for them most of the time anyway. Um, it has to be, like, really stand out and, like, really in service of the record as a whole. This just felt like, let's just dump some shit in the middle of these songs.
It
Like, it sounds like someone handed them, like, a Cradle of Filth record,
fuck.
and they're like, "Oh, we should do some of that." And, like, Cradle of Filth is already, like, we have black metal at home. Like,
uh Teddy Fields. It's no, you're right. It
still waiting for that Ed Sheeran, Danny Filth collab,
it's coming. Supreme's gonna put out the merch.
I'm sure.
Uh it's it's it it is I've been disappointed by records before. I have not been this disappointed. And granted, I'm in my 40s. I'm not a kid. This is music for kids specifically. I lived through my era of this. You lived through your era of this. Fine. The revival for a lot of it, some of the bands have done very well, like the aforementioned Your Spirit Dies. Some of the old bands have come back. Fantastic. Uh, you have labels like Tarnished Records bringing those back on vinyl and some new stuff. Amazing. I've not been disappointed with any of those things. This was the biggest disappointment of the year musically, and it's competent minus you take out the instrumentals, interstitials, whatever verbiage you want to use for it. You take those out. You take off that fucking terrible ending song. Why would you put a cover? Do a ska song. Don't fucking put a shit rap song on it. You sound like assholes when you do that. I might cancel my order because of this. Those first two singles made me go, "Oh shit, this might actually fucking take over." It didn't. It's boring. It's fine.
I the the thing is, like, and I don't mean this in a derogatory way, like, the there were so many local bands that never made it big, never made it anywhere near as big as Balmora, that's were just as good as this, that, like, put out, like, 4 songs in 2005 and then were never heard from again.
Coma Eternal.
Like, eh right, like, I've Holding Hannah. Um,
No, you're exactly right. Two good examples.
right, like, it's just, trying to think, uh, A Heart Fades Forever. Like, local bands that never really did anything, never really went anywhere, that were just as good, if not better than this. And, like, man, like, but when you're out there, like, second on the bill with, like, or you're out there opening for fucking Converge and Poison the Well, I just kind of expect more from you.
Fair. I think
And, like, I say this as a person that's never put out music before in my life, so, like, take anything I'm saying with a grain of salt. Like, I'm fully aware that, like, I was just kinda bummed. It's like, man, you I wanted to see Connecticut win, you know?
I uh I think and I'm gonna shoot some bail to the band for this record.
Please.
Like I said, this is a 6.5, 7. It is competent. I think if this record
If
had
this
come
was an
out like
EP if this was an EP, this
different
would this
conversation,
would be pretty great.
different
This would be really
conversation.
good.
And if it came out like a year after the big EP, that the first EP, we would not be this conversation would be entirely different about the band. Because there's a
Mhm.
progression from that EP to this LP, but the two releases in between were a step back. So now you're right back at square one. And it's like, okay, you've already done this. we thought you had more in the tank, and an EP, or if it came out, you know what? Fuck it. You're right. An EP, and it came out after the first big EP. We're having a different conversation about this band.
Mhm.
That's not what
Like,
happened.
grab, like, the handful of, like, the strongest tracks from this, you know, it's like it's a real slick 5 or 6 songs.
And it's significantly better. But that's not what we got. Uh,
Yo, did you see that their old singer that I guess got kicked out is, like, liking any tweet where someone's bad-mouthing this record?
that is a level of petty that I find to be quite funny. That is
Yeah, I thought it was
wild.
pretty funny. I don't know the circumstances. I wonder how much losing their original singer hurt them. Um, I don't know the circumstances of that at all, and I'm not gonna sit here and speculate about what they might be. I'm just wondering, like, if swapping out singers may have I can't imagine it would have hurt them that much, like, I don't know.
No, the power of the singer's Jinko genes, there was a lot of strength in those genes. So I don't know if it's the Jinkos or not, but I'm gonna blame the Jinkos.
Right on. Sh
um,
shout out my buddy Bruce, whose Instagram handle is Jinko Jesus.
that's um all right. So we got two things left to talk about, and this actually leads in to the one of the positives from this week's episode. We're talking about if you're gonna do hip hop, do it right. Uh Knocked Loose and Denzel Curry are doing a very cool tour, and they both did it fucking right on that single, which I would love to have more of. I would love more from them. Give me an EP. Give me an EP. You got more juice.
I would
Hive Mind
love
is
an EP
amazing.
of this.
Uh,
Yeah, that song goes hard. Um, this is what we mean by, like, if you're gonna come correct, right? Like, if you hard hardcore and hip hop, like, absolutely can exist in the same space, right? Like, there are cool ways to do it. Um, that and yeah, Hive Mind is one of those ways. By the way, shout out Knock Loose, who have apparently been having a rough time in Europe, as like one of them is currently suffering from Bell's palsy. The other one got hit by a car, and they're still playing.
Shit. Yo, Road Dog and Hard. I didn't even know that. Um, but yeah,
Road
they got
dogs.
dogs. But no, they've put together this very cool tour. It is a insane mixed bill tour. Denzel Curry can draw an audience as is. Knock Loose can draw an audience as is. Was it Super
Su-
Heaven?
Super Heaven can also draw as is,
And there's
and
another
then
band.
Boundaries, who I'm not familiar with. They're apparently a
One,
metalcore band from Connecticut, but like they're from that uncanny valley world of like this is something we could talk about more. Like I know Axe to Grind's got in on this a little bit, but I don't think they ever really did like devoted like serious time to it. But like there is that world of metalcore music, like hardcore metalcore stuff that is like it all kind of sounds like Children of Misery Signals, but like they don't play hardcore shows the way that Misery Signals did. Like they're in their own bubble. It's so weird.
like
Um,
the S bands. I call them S bands. We named like 7 or 8 of them before we started, and only one of them actually did do it right and play with hardcore bands. Uh, and that was one my best friend forced on me, and I'm glad he did. Talking about counterparts, but I don't. I have so little familiarity with that world in general, except for like counterparts. So if you're into
isn't the dude
heavy
from
music,
Counterparts also the singer for End?
I don't know. So I don't know the super group who's. I know Jay plays bass. That's all I know.
I believe I'm right in that.
You probably are. Brent, is it Brendan who does vocals and counterparts? That's his name, right?
Yeah, he's the singer. Yeah, Brendan. He's also in End. Um, my my longtime my longtime friend, casual acquaintance friend, Greg Thomas from Connecticut is also in End. Um, that man has been in every band on the planet. Um, but anyways,
End's dope,
yeah,
by the way.
End is so good. I love that band so much. Anyhow,
um, but no, I
yeah,
think.
this tour looks cool as hell. Looks cool as hell. Um,
Do you hear the children screaming in the background?
I do. I do.
No,
Do you need to go do something about it?
no, no.
Okay. I wasn't
Most
sure if
nights
that's
I
what you
do.
were.
No, no, no. I just didn't know if they were. For those that don't know, the cats are clamoring for food like they've never been fed, and my wife is
As
feeding
is the
them.
want of cats.
Yeah, they always want food. They always get it. They think they're never going to eat again. Um, they ate twice yesterday. They eat. They're all. For those that don't may not follow me on Instagram, get sick 828 little promo. You'll see a picture of me holding up my cats. They're giants. These are not tiny little cats. These are long, crazy, fucking amazing little tiny horses that happen to meow. They're so strong. Um, they're not as strong as that knocked loose Denzel Curry tour lineup or that single hive mind, but they're fucking strong.
I. Oh, God. Man, I don't know if I'm gonna go out. Like, that tour is coming through Philly. It looks really cool. I dislike shows that are that big.
But what kind of
You
what?
know what I mean?
So what I
The
read.
the venue that they're playing at is like outside, like near one of they just opened this place. I had never heard of it before. Taking Back Sunday did like a free show as like the inaugural thing for it to give
Ooh,
you an
that's pretty
idea
cool.
of how big this place is. Um,
So we're talking. There's a comma in the room in the venue size.
correct.
Okay, I
Yeah,
thought
I don't.
uh, it was a parking lot, like a open lot tour. I don't know why I saw it. Maybe
They
I
are
misread
playing
something.
some. I mean, they are playing some. Like they're playing like the Palladium parking lot in
Okay,
Massachusetts,
okay. So I'm not completely on
like where
off my meds.
that Have Heart show was that drew like I don't know 10,000 people, something like that.
Well, Jesus Christ, parking lot. Okay, so
You know
that's
what I'm
kind of like
talking
when we
about?
got turns. Yeah, yeah. That's when when Turnstile played up in Asheville, and it was like a 1,500 person like open field. Uh, yeah, it kind of bums me out that it's that size and it's not a fest. Like that size show is cool if it's a fest. Harder when it's just a tour. Uh,
Yeah, because
but
it what it does is it draws a lot of people that like I don't want to be in a room with.
um, it's for all
I'm
the
talking about
positives.
drunk casuals. That's what I'm
There you
talking
go. You
about,
got
by the way.
you got to it. Um, uh,
I don't want to be in a room with drunk casuals. I don't. They never know how to act.
no, they
Like
know.
that whole,
They
like the dude in the Patagonia jacket at the Converge Poison the Well show. That dude was a dork and needed to go back to his fucking accounting office. It's fine.
but did he take his shirt off and puff his chest out to
No,
I want to do a wall of
he kept
death.
the Patagonia. He kept the Patagonia on the whole time.
Weak.
He looked like he just came from his. He looked like he just came from the office. It was very strange.
No, the drunk bros at the casuals, or like, oh, my favorite, or like the fans of like the weirder fans. They'll be like, this is gonna be awesome. This is as much as I love because I was a casual before I became a lifer, and I understand that there is a select group, and they're gigantic, of constant casuals that just wanna hear loud guitar, and they do take their shirts off, and they do try to pick fights and make experiences miserable. Um, I haven't seen a lot of it lately, which has been good, so fingers crossed that doesn't happen, but the reality is the lineup is cool. What they're trying to do is cool. The 2 main acts are insanely good. They're leading the charge to get people into stuff. Uh, they put out a banger ass single. Again, give us an EP. It doesn't have to be a full length. 3 or 4 more songs. That's all I'm asking
Yeah,
for.
I definitely do not. I do not need a full length of this. I think like I think if you try and get a full length of this, you're gonna be like, I think you're gonna be bummed out.
Are you gonna be
Trying to make a whole album, but like,
sorry, I lost my train of thought. Oh, no, you're right. Full album, you're gonna be bummed. EP, you're gonna be stoked, and I hope they do it. If not, we got one of the best singles of the year, and I'm still happy with that. So, if you're going to the tour, throw a spin kick for me. Uh, I it's not I think Atlanta, maybe Charlotte, but I don't think it's really coming that super duper close to me. So, it is we are trying to be positive about the thing, I promise you. I think this is gonna send, Super Heavy I think Super Heavy is gonna benefit probably the most of the other 2 bands. I think they're gonna benefit the most.
yeah, Super Heaven, I guess, having a moment. I didn't fully realize this, but apparently, like one of their songs blew up on TikTok, and they're having this like resurgence right now, which is weird.
Good for
Um,
them.
because I remember, which yeah, because I remember seeing them like kind of all the time back when they were called. What were they called before they were called Super Heaven?
Okay, Purgatory? No, I have no idea. I don't remember.
Okay, Purgatory.
Sorry.
Um, anyways, this will be cool. It's a cool look. Um, I like that it's that varied. Like Super Heaven, Denzel Curry, Knocked Loose. Like that's a cool lineup.
Yeah, that's,
Daylight.
oh,
They
they
used to
were
be
called
called
Daylight?
Daylight.
Really? I used to like Daylight. Alright. Okay.
Yeah, Daylight is Super Heaven. They just changed names. Like it's not like they reformed as a different band or anything. Like it's just the same band. They just changed names.
Did not know that till just now. Okay. Now I have an even bigger reason to check out Super Heaven. You just got another, fan because I did not realize you were Daylight before. Alright.
Yeah. You've been a
I
fan the
ride
whole time.
I ride for you. Didn't realize it. Alright, that's fine. It's okay to learn shit. Alright. Let's, one last thing. Uh, and
Please.
this would have been at the top of the show, but I feel this is a positive way to end it. And I have not checked. Can you click on the link and see where things are at
Absolutely.
while we're so
So you
there
go in
was
on
a
this and I'll pull it up.
all right. So local hardcore band, Reviler, one of their members, Derick, was in a very weird freak accident, also involving a child with which his I think his significant other, and he in the child's life. I don't remember. I don't know all of that, but I know there's a very severe freak accident, and
Was it a like a tree limb fell on them, right?
yeah, it was like the weird circumstance. It was I don't want to say like Final Destination adjacent, but it was a falling tree limb, and it must have been gigantic. And from what everything said, he tried to help make sure nobody got hurt, ended up getting put in harm's way, trying to protect the kid, and is in the hospital along with the kid. And it has been he was in a lot of pain. They weren't able to get to his immediate surgeries to start doing stuff. The child is in recovery from what I read the last time on the GoFundMe. So kid's doing better. And you know, hardcore for hardcore is not something that people just it's cool to say, it's cooler to do. and I got to watch my community here just rally and just putting it out in a few different places. Once I saw it, um, I watched that GoFundMe goal raised. It was initially 12,000. I don't know what it is now. But I know that they keep
So, um, currently the goal is 40K and they've raised 33.
not bad, not bad at all. Um, it when tragedy strikes and it's someone who is uh, a known person, known for being a good person, when something bad happens to good people, even if something bad happens to like people, you're like, yeah, I know 'em. They seem okay. Even okay people. If you know that they care about something and they're a part of that world and they're like, hey, some bad things happened. Can you help out? Seeing this GoFundMe pop up, seeing the attention brought to it, seeing that people are caring, seeing that they're trying to get everyone's life back on track. I think that is one of the standout things in hardcore. I think that is and punk rock as well. I'll throw metal in there because I know they have done stuff. I just couldn't name anything off the top of my head. But hardcore specifically has gone out of their way to protect and help people in their scene, whether they're super well known, whether they're just kind of known, or like, hey, this person goes to shows all the time. They support us. We should do something in return. There is a lot of true community organization that I don't see in a lot of other things. And while Derick and company are dealing with the American healthcare system, trying to recover, figure out the steps that come next, um, I I love the fact that people are rallying around trying to get this family back to the good foot. And that again, that's something that I'm very happy about. Like again, from a dumb 13-year-old kid who came in through punk rock to the 46 going on 47-year-old misanthropic dickhead that I've become, it is nice to see one of the constants in my life is when push comes to shove, hardcore for hardcore, time and 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 time again does something. And it's a good thing. And I'm very happy that this scene has put its money where its mouth is. And seeing that goal rise up so quickly is very cool.
That's really
So if you
cool.
have anything you could donate, if you can share the link,
Yeah.
just
We will put the link in the episode description. I've been terrible with doing much with that, but um yeah, I'll put that down there for you. So,
so I do wish a very speedy recovery to all involved. And I know that Derek is a big part of this scene where I live. And I know that he has a lot of friends in his corner and that people are rooting for him and his company, and I want them to get back on the good foot as quick as possible. And again, I just, despite the fact that something bad happened, the people coming together to help out
yeah.
is awesome.
Um
So buy
I think we
Reviler
see time and
merch.
time again. Yeah. I think we see time and time again consistently that like when the chips are actually down, people choose to help each other rather than hurt each other. Um and I think this is a cool example of that. Um Sorry, I was a little distracted there while you're talking because I was just going through the various updates. It looks like everyone's gotten through surgery
Oh,
pretty
good, good,
well
good, good,
insofar.
good.
Um, so sounds like the young girl there is in has worse injuries than Derek does. Um, but she's got a long road ahead of her in terms of recovery. But sounds like they're both the prog from what they've shared on the GoFundMe, the prognosis is pretty positive. Uh, insofar as it goes. Insofar as I mean, doctors tend to. I can speak to this a little bit. Doctors are hesitant to um, make definitive statements uh, because things like this can go sideways in ways that they don't expect, that they can't see coming. But one weird thing that I was thinking about, um, as much as it is tragic that such a young kid is dealing with such extensive injuries, something that my dad would always point out was that, like, yes, but at that age, you're still under warranty, is what he would call it. Like, kids have an incredible ability to bounce back from things like this, um, that you tend to start to lose the older you get. So it's, that is at least a way to frame things. If these sort of things can lead you to a place of despair, it certainly can for me. Um, so, anyways,
No, that's awesome because I know that Derek's surgery had been pushed, uh, a couple times. I know that the youngster, now the last time I had read the youngster was successfully out of surgery. It's nice to know that both of them are out of surgery, even with a long road to recovery for both of them, especially the youngster. Uh, you know, younger people do bounce back from stuff like this. The prognosis being positive. Both people have been through surgery. I'm sure there will probably be more in the future. There'll be
yeah,
more
very
things,
likely.
more physical therapy.
They made some mention of that in the post I was scrolling through, that they still have others in front of them, most likely, but
But
ugh,
again, something bad happened. Hardcore came together. Everything's looking on the positive. They're making a difference in these people's lives because people like Derek make a difference in people like our lives. And then there's the people that he has the interpersonal relationships outside of music that he makes their lives wonderful. So, uh, I think that's the best way as far as this episode, despite some of the other things spoken about. The compliment sandwich of positivity did happen finally, and uh, share the link if you see it. Donate if you can. When I say buy Reviler merch, buy Reviler merch. If they do Bandcamp Fridays, give them money to help with the recovery process. Shout out to the homies in Reviler. I know you're taking care of Derek and his family as well, to the best of your ability. And I hope that everybody gets healed up as quick as humanly possible. That's so,
all of that to say, thank you for listening. Thank you for hanging out with us. We
yeah,
appreciate you.
always fun. Always fun. Uh, yeah. Be charitable when you can.
Yeah,
Help people when you can. So,
yeah. Be kind. Uh, Help one another. We are all that we have.
yeah. I no cliche, just truth.
All right. Well, I've been Kate.
Still Adam, despite the world not wanting me to be.
Yeah, I keep asking you to just pick something else, but yeah. Stubborn bastard. All right. Love you.
Love you too.
Bye.
Bye.